Intense Skin Brightening. A deep dive into the Numbuzin No 5 Plus line. Hey there, it's Kelly. Welcome back to my channel, where we delve into gentle skincare, sometimes self-care. Today, let's chat about the number 5 Plus line. I've been hinting at these products all month, like in my Olive Young ranking top selling products video, and also in the Glut-Ione ingredient spotlight video. But there's been a lot of buzz around these products lately, especially the newly released toner. So, I thought, why not dedicate a whole video to them? Let's shine the spotlight on these babies. I'll take you on a deep dive into their textures, ingredients, and performance, and share my thoughts on each product. So, what's the deal with the number 5 Plus line from Numbuzin? It's all about brightening up the skin, using a cocktail of active brightening ingredients. But they're not just aiming for general brightening, they're targeting specific concerns. Think hyperpigmentation from acne marks, dark spots, sun damage, melasma, and those pesky mask-induced discolorations. These products aren't just about giving your skin a generic healthy glow, though they do that too. They're designed to tackle those specific brightening issues head-on. I think the whole line is good. If you wanted to use the whole line together, I think you'd get some really bright skin, right? But if you maybe only have the budget for one product or two products, I'm really going to try to highlight what it does best, how it brightens the skin the best way. So the number 5 Plus Vitamin Niacinamide Concentrated Toner Pads. I think these really shine for brightening hyperpigmentation, or post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation after acne. So this is kind of like that dark discoloration after some type of trauma to the skin or inflammation to the skin. I think that's where the brightening actives here really shine. As far as skin types, I think any skin type is going to enjoy this product. It has a really nice, pleasant texture. But I will point out that this product does contain some teenage or alcohol. That's a drying form of alcohol. And so if your skin is reactive to that type of ingredient, this may not be the right one for you. So the active brightening ingredients in this formula include Glut-Ione trans-emic acid and 5% of niacinamide. Now, as I mentioned at the top of the video, I do have a dedicated ingredient spotlight video for Glut-Ione, but I'm gonna give you a quick overview right now, because this is actually the backbone of all of the products in the number 5 Plus line. Glut-Ione is an antioxidant that helps to protect your skin from oxidative stress. It also helps to protect from damage from UV rays. It doesn't just protect your skin as an antioxidant though. It is technically also a peptide. It does use 3 amino acids, and the 3 particular ones that make up the peptide of Glut-Ione actually interrupt an enzyme that causes discoloration on the skin, so it actually does help to brighten up the skin. Now, tranexamic acid is a really hard-working brightener for the skin. As well, this is an ingredient that can address multiple different types of discoloration on the skin. So definitely inflammatory marks, dark marks, gray patches. It's particularly good as an over-the-counter remedy for melasma and sun damage. It is particularly good for stubborn hyperpigmentation that maybe has not responded to more common brighteners like niacinamide. It actually works similar to Glut-Ione in the fact that it helps you interrupt some of the pathways where melanin is occurring in the skin from inflammatory events or from the sun, or sun damage, things like that. So it actually kind of has that similar mechanism of interrupting those enzymes, but it actually kind of goes at different, multiple pathways to disrupting the discoloration on the skin. And what's also very interesting about it is that it can help to prevent further discoloration or pigmentation from occurring on the skin. Now of course L-ityl niacinamide is in here as well at 5%, which is an extremely effective amount. Now we do have some other antioxidant content in here. We have coenzyme Q10. We also have ascorbic acid. Now, I didn't really mention it as one of the active brightening ingredients in here. It is pure vitamin C. There is going to be a brightening benefit to this antioxidant, but it is in a very small amount. Part of the reason I like these toner pads, particularly for hyperpigmentation after acne, is the 2 exfoliants that these contain, LHA and PHA. These are kind of new generation, AHAS and BHAS. They both actually work to gently exfoliate the. And again we do have denatured alcohol here. It is listed on the ingredients list as ethanol. That is another name for alcohol or denatured alcohol. So sometimes it's to miss that one if that's not kind of like on your radar for denatured alcohol. So these toner pads are super drenched in this jelly like essence. It's not like really thin and watery. There's a little bit of like a bouncy gel-like quality to these, but they are actually extremely hydrating. And like I said, very drenched in this jelly bouncy essence. I find them actually to be very pleasant to use. These big square patches cover very large areas. It does come with 70 if you get the jar packaging, which I think is a very fair amount. Sometimes toner pads I feel like they can be kind of small. They come in smaller quantities and they feel maybe you run through them a little fast. Maybe don't get the value out of them. I think these are nice and generously sized and a good quantity. I will let you know I only tested out the deluxe samples that I got in the set of 3 of these products that I bought from Olive Young a couple of months ago. As I have mentioned multiple times, the denatured alcohol in here, it's not a fit for my skin. So I knew I wasn't going to do like extensive testing with these. I did actually use them on my chest and on my back, because I do break out there and I just get hyperpigmentation. If there's inflammation, there's hyperpigmentation with my skin. And I've been working out a lot more, and that does mean some more like of that body congestion can happen quite a bit. And so I was really pleasantly surprised with the amount of hydration that these deliver to this skin. But I also really liked the combination of the exfoliants and the brighteners. I really feel like this helped to keep the breakouts and the congestion down just by the LHA and PHA alone. But then, all of those brightening ingredients really did help to address some hyperpigmentation that I had from some previous congestion that other products hadn't really targeted right. I was getting a lot of exfoliation, but I wasn't getting the brightening. So I love the combination here. I'm always looking for multiple benefits. And if you're stuck in that cycle of breakouts and hyperpigmentation and dull-looking skin right, it is really important for you to streamline your routine. I think not adding in every single little brightener and every single little exfoliant and every little acne treatment, but try to combine it into more powerful, well thought out formulations. I personally think like this one. Quite honestly, the formulation and the delivering mechanism of this particular product, I don't think makes it well suited for treating sun damage. So as I mentioned, if you can only get one product and you really want to work on sun damage, freckles, moles, moth, things like that, this is not it. I wouldn't waste your money on this. Wait until I talk about the serum. But if you are looking to add some toner pads into your routine, you're particularly looking for the inflammatory hyperpigmentation and maybe also looking from some of those gentle exfoliating benefits at the same time, this would be the product for you. Now let's talk about number 5. Vitamin Boosting Essential Toner. I think this is best for those who are looking for the hydration of a toner, but the brightening of an essence. This product can cover both of those categories effortlessly. I think it's especially good if you are dealing with some dull skin, some discoloration, the hyperpigmentation, maybe even a little bit of sun damage, and you're also looking to kind of boost up the aging benefits of that toner and essence product along with the brightening. And I think this is gonna work for any skin type. It has a really nice pleasing texture. So active brightening ingredients in here include niacinamide. We also have 30-FPHILOSCORBIC acid, which is a vitamin C derivative. It's a little bit more stabilized, slightly gentler on the skin. It also does have the pure form of vitamin C, ascorbic acid just a tiny bit here, as well as arbida and anhydroperoxyaminoides water, which is also known as sea buckthorn, or also known in K-beauty by the nickname vitamin tree. In the toner, they are using a liposome glutathione, and that actually encapsulates the glutathione. Remember that brightening antioxidant. It helps to keep it really efficacious. Very potent for the skin. It helps to deliver it a little bit deeper into the skin too. So it's a really interesting treatment of the glutathione in the particular toner. And I do want to point out that this does not contain any trans-amino acid, but what they have kind of subbed in for that ingredient in this formula is arbida, and so arbutin is a plant-derived ingredient, and its main benefit is that it actually, once it gets onto your skin, it actually converts into hydroquinone, which is an ingredient that helps to inhibit melanin production on the skin. This might be familiar to you. Hydroquinone is actually a prescription ingredient, and it is the gold standard for treating stubborn pigmentation on the skin, particularly sun damage and melasma. It is a potent but very effective ingredient, and as I mentioned, you can only get it through a prescription. So this isn't like a workaround or a loophole to getting hydroquinone, and this is gonna work very differently on the skin. I guess it's similar to how over-the-counter retinol actually converts into tretinoin on the skin. Again, a prescription only. Very potent an ingredient. Now we do also have some peptides in the mix that are giving a variety of benefits really to this toner. Acetyl-hexapeptide 8, also known as argari-L-line. That's kind of that firming Botox-like. They're using hexapeptide 9, which is another anti-aging type of peptide. It does actually help to stimulate some collagen production for the skin. We have nonapeptide 1, which is actually brightening peptide. We have matrix L in here, which is a peptide that helps to address the look of fine lines and wrinkles by stimulating collagen. And then we also have Metrix L3000, which is to peptides, and like that next generation of Metrix L. So I love the texture of this toner because it has a bouncy jelly-like quality to it. You can see it has quite a bit of body, but it's still runny. And as you get this onto your skin and you just like swipe it, that first swipe, it actually kind of starts to become more watery. It's not quite as thick as it appears when you first pour it out of the bottle, and it actually dives into the skin quite deep. It does deliver a nice amount of hydration. That little bit of gel or jelly-like texture kind of plumps out the skin, and it does leave the skin feeling really nicely balanced. There's just a touch like a very gentle little pinch of moisture to this, but it's not like a greasy, oily type of moisture. I don't feel that the brighteners are watered down in this formula. I can feel the vitamin C If you're sensitive to ascorbic acid, do not use this. I can be sensitive to ascorbic acid. I can feel the ascorbic acid in this formula. If you know, right? So probably skip out on this if ascorbic acid is not for you, but generally, I am very impressed with how concentrated this is. I am impressed with how fast this works. I have been going through quite a period of dull skin lately, because I've actually been dealing with some health stuff that has definitely made my skin just not be lit from within truly. And a lot of that is working on the health stuff that's going to help. But I was a lot more prone to hyperpigmentation from pimples. I had a lot more of that going on with my skin. I just had like a dullness. My pore seemed very enlarged and very like full of the oxidative like blackheads, right? So it just my whole skin, appearance just felt very dull for a period of time. And I really feel like this kind of lifted everything up in a really nice way. It really evened out some of the unevenness and the patchiness that I felt like I had on my skin. It really helped with the hyperpigmentation from some of the more inflammatory pimples that I had gone through because of the health issues, right? I just think it brought a really beautiful glow to my skin. I'm also always working on sun damage. I've addressed like over 70% of it over the last couple of years. But there's still just those few stubborn spots on my cheeks that I feel like this has helped. It is way too soon for me to really report on that. So I want to be very clear and very upfront. Sun damage takes a very long time to dress, takes a long time to form and to emerge on the skin. It's gonna take a long time. It's gonna take way more than one bottle of toner, right? But I feel like this is kind of just like a booster in my skincare routine. This isn't even, as I'm saying, it's very concentrated. This isn't even the most concentrated out of the line. But it's been a really nice booster addition to my skincare routine. I've also been pulling it after I got through the toner pad. And I was like, I really liked the effect of those. But I'm not gonna invest in, toner pads just for my chest. But I've been pulling this down to my chest as well to deal with some more of that hyperpigmentation. And I'm just very impressed with how potent the brighteners are for a toner-like format. One thing I did want to address about the toner quickly before we move on. I did actually get some comments on the glutathione video asking if this actually has any scent, because some people said that they had picked up like some funky scents on this. Actually haven't. But what I did notice is once I got a little bit more air in this bottle, if I squeeze up, you kind of squeeze the bottle and let the air shoots out. I do that under my nose, yet it smells foul. There is something a little bit off about it. It's probably the ascorbic acid, because we all know ascorbic acid smells like dog food or hot dogs. Right when I pour it out onto my hand, like that, and I put my nose in it, I smell nothing. The chances of you really getting this kind of experience just by using it, you're not gonna be pouring it like that right with your nose up into it. So I wouldn't be too concerned about it. Now let's talk about the number 5 plus vitamin concentrated serum. Now this is really gonna be best for those who have the serious brightening concerns, because as you may be able to guess, the serum out of the toner pads and toner is the most highly concentrated, and I think the most effective brightener out of the three. And because a lot of the claims around the serum and a lot of the active ingredients that they have chosen actually have benefits for melasma and sun damage, this is the product I'm going to recommend. If that's your main goal with brightening product, this is gonna be your best bet. And I actually think this is gonna work for any skin type as well. All three of these products I really do feel have a general skin type, or like a general audience in mind, so I can see it working across from oily skin all the way up to dry skin, even balanced skin and combo in between. I think that this texture will suit you. So we're also building upon the theme here with the active brightening ingredients. A lot of familiar faces will be here in the serum. So you'll notice that we do have niacinamide RB tint, vitamin C in a couple of different forms. They have added another derivative ascorbyl PLE glucoside, but we also do have tranexamic acid at 4%. So we have trans-amino acid in the toner pads, but not at a disclosed percentage. So here in the serum, we have a more concentrated, highly effective amount. 4% is actually a very good amount, and they've included 5% of panthenol L. Now panthenol L is not a brightening ingredient, as you probably know. It's a hydrating acetant ingredient. However, panthenol L doesn't just hydrate your skin and make it feel plump and juicy. Right, it's barrier supportive, it's a soothing ingredient. And it's actually an ingredient that formulators use in formulations like this with some pretty aggressive active brightening ingredients. You know, arbida and vitamin C in my mind particularly are ingredients that can kind of push your skin. They can be a little bit much, especially if you are sensitive, and so panthenol L is one of the ingredients that actually is used in these types of formulas to help your skin accept these ingredients a little bit better, because they are. Panthenol L has a soothing, anti-inflammatory benefit to it, and it's also a barrier supportive ingredient. So this has a really nice pleasing gel texture. Kind of rides the line between a light gel and like a medium gel. It's not full on medium, I felt heftier gel serum textures, but there is a little bit of body to this. But I've actually been really impressed with how this texture performs on the skin, because the absorbency of this is really good. I don't feel like this is an extremely hydrating gel texture. Doesn't like dive super deep into the skin. Although it does contain panthenol L, right, it's really not the main goal of this serum to hydrate your skin. The main goal is to brighten your skin, and I'm very impressed with it. Like I said, kind of having a foot in that medium kind of a feel and weight on the skin. The way that it absorbs, it just absorbs so quickly into the skin, and it feels very light. Once it is absorbed, it feels very breathable, and there's no greasiness, there's no stickiness, there's no shine on top of your skin. Now, I'm gonna be totally honest with you as far as like my results with this. Using this, I've noticed results for hyperpigmentation. So I have some dark spots, as I mentioned already, that were left over from when I got pimples that got inflamed and swollen on my skin. Absolutely works for that dullness. Absolutely work for that. I think it actually helps a little bit, which is like pores, and just like enlarged pores. Like I call it enlarged pores, pulling my skin down. And what I mean by that is once your pores look large, once they look a little bit, full of sebum and blackheads, right? It really makes your skin not only look dull and discolored, but it also makes your skin look very texturized. As well. It just takes away from that smooth, bright lip from within healthy look. I do feel like this helped with that, which was not something I was expecting, nor is it even something I think that this promised anything with pores. But just for me and where I was at testing this product out, it really seemed to help with that. So overall, a lot of that was addressed. With this, I did see benefits with the toner, right? But as far as sun damage, where I'm at with my sun damage right now, I'm on the last leg of like the most stubborn freckles, and I haven't really seen too much of a change there. I don't think I've personally used this product long enough, and I honestly would have to probably get to the end of this bottle before I could even give you an idea of what I think has occurred in that area with this. So I guess once this is empty, I will have to do like an empty update and let you know about that. And I think anybody who's going to talk about sun damage being addressed and they've only used the product for a month, a few weeks, I would take it with a big grain of salt, quite honestly. Even if it's not like a prescription hydroquinoa N, just take it with a grain of salt.